Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Morning, and welcome to the week one. The week one fantasy football morning show. Thank you for watching. I'm glad that you are here. We currently have 0 people in chat, but I understand that. We're still in the process of rolling the show out. So whenever you're watching this, I just want to say thank you for watching, and feel free to criticize the shit out of me because I still don't know what I'm doing yet. And I want to get better. Only way to get better is with criticism and input. So, hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Yesterday was a shit show. It was a colossal train wreck. Either way, it was still football, which I think we can all thoroughly appreciate because football is officially back. There were a bunch of injuries, and that was pretty crappy. And basically everybody you thought was supposed to do good did not, and everybody you thought was going to be kind of mediocre balled out. I'm looking right at you, Jameis Winston. I can't stand that guy. It's a personal bias, and I apologize. I haven't liked him since the crab leg days, but whatever. He did play very, very well, unlike Aaron Rodgers. So, man, I can't even. It just hurts to think about that. Anyway, still waiting on a lot of injury news. That is the one downside of doing a morning show Monday morning, is the fact that there are still people who have to get tested. I know I have seen that the Jerry Jeudy injury is apparently being labeled a high ankle sprain. So it is not as bad as we thought, but much like every season, you never know how a high ankle sprain is going to affect a player. So we'll have to look out for that. With that being said, Tim Patrick's season, question mark, maybe, not sure. Melvin Gordon did really good, which I can only imagine all the things I'm going to have to hear about from Dale DeMont, because he was touting Melvin Gordon last week. Let's see who else. There's a lot of players that didn't play. OBJ didn't play, which kind of sucked. We got word of it early, but I mean, I myself forgot to remove him from a lineup. I don't have him in a lot of places in the first place, but I forgot to move him out of my lineup. Played somebody who forgot to move them out of my lineup, out of their lineup. So, you got to stay on that stuff. A lot of Trey Sermon didn't play. I still don't have any idea why on that. It appears to be a healthy scratch situation, but with Raheem Mostert getting hurt, we don't know what's going to happen. There's still a lot to be determined about this week. The rest of the season next week. I mean, it's a 17-game season. We still have 16 games left. We still have the Monday night game tonight that is going to go down between the Ravens and the Raiders. Should have had notes, but hey, on the fly, I remembered that. That's going to be a very interesting game. If I'm not mistaken, the Ravens are favored by maybe 10. I don't know. Something I do want to do is get better at doing things like lines. We go into full transparency mode. You're going to see me post and say things like we. I am we. This is for all intents and purposes, this is a solo pod. So I am the producer. I am the so-called talent. I am the cameraman. I'm doing all the things. I made the intro music. I got the beat from somewhere else. I mashed the Do It Live because I find it to be thoroughly enjoyable. I forget my own lines a lot of times. I have a teleprompter that I haven't figured out how to use yet. That's something I'm going to work on. But also, if I look at it from where I'm at right now, it looked like this. And it'd be a lot of me trying to read while talking. And I'm not sure I'm good enough to do that. So it's just going to be a lot of me doing things on the fly, figuring things out. I have a handy dandy notebook right here, so I can write myself notes for things that I want to get better on, like not saying the word which I think I've gotten progressively better every episode. Episode 4, shout out to the guy who watched last week. Episode 3 was Ask Me Questions. That was a really cool thing. Tomorrow's episode will be streamed live on Twitch. Also, I am currently being streamed now on Facebook and YouTube. I will have the Twitch channel up by tomorrow, I think. Still trying to figure out a way to get on Twitter live. Apparently Periscope is going away, and I've tried to sign up and I can't because they're going away. So I don't know how to get the stuff on to Twitter. I thought about doing spaces, but every time I think about doing it, I'm not recording the show. And every time I'm recording the show, I do not think about spaces. I do not still know what spaces is. I know it's a thing on Twitter and it's audio only. But even if I could get on that, I think I can actually have people ask me questions, which would be pretty cool. So that may be a thing that happens. Let's see. Going to try and get better at doing the recording and starting recording at 8 o'clock. But, my producer is terrible and doesn't get me my show notes. So sometimes it just don't happen. No, I will get better. We're going to stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8 to 9-ish, depending on how much news there is to go over. To try and do things like recaps. I'm going to be very transparent about things that I do, articles I write. If I write an article and in the article I project so-and-so to have this or that, I will attempt to then follow it back the next episode or Monday after, whenever I get a chance to, and go back through the where I was right and where I was wrong. I expect there to be a fair amount of both. So that is going to be very interesting. I want to find a way to do Fantasy Football Morning Show is the name of the show. And I want it to be kind of like a morning show type of feel, maybe with some late night show vibes. I don't have guests currently, but I want to do some not skits, but different segments. Like I do at some point in time, I want to do what I call a mean tweets. Fantasy Football Mean Tweets section. I was going to do a stupid tweet section, but I could literally just scroll through Twitter right now and hit you with all of the dumb things that I read. Matter of fact, let's try this. For instance, yesterday I saw if you drafted Mike Davis, you're not good at fantasy football thing. And yeah, that's not going to age well. I don't think so. He may not be the number one running back, but he sure as hell can't do as bad as some of these other guys. And I also want to do a segment. Let me know what you think when I say I want to do a segment. If you think it's a good idea, comment below or wherever you can. If you think it's a bad idea, comment below or wherever you can. Let me know. I kind of want to do a fuck that guy section. I just can't think of a name. I got to think of a clever name for it, because fuck that guy isn't that original. See lots of people doing it. But how about Urban Meyer basically making everyone really mad by not being good at coaching on the professional level? I said it. I meant it. Uh, has a really good running back. Did not use the really good running back. And that seemed to really upset people. Also, I want to pull an Aaron Rodgers right now and say, relax. If you have players that underperformed, I literally just saw a tweet earlier that said, basically, it said, Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers did not do good. Should I trade them away? And I have to say, as of right now, that's going to be a resounding hell no, in my opinion. Do not just start. I've been guilty of this, so I'm speaking from experience. Do not just start jettisoning players. Um, I personally am not at all an OBJ fan. I only have him in one league. He didn't start. I left him in my lineup, but I have previously jettisoned him out of anger before. If he doesn't play good, fine. If he is injured, fine. I dropped Cam yesterday in the Scott Fish Bowl, and I don't feel bad about it. But don't just Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers are pretty good at NFL football, which translates to being good at fantasy football most weeks. But there was no preseason. You cut down from 4 weeks of preseason to 3 weeks of preseason, and barely anybody started. I think if you go back and look at the games where teams won, I'm actually going to do the research this afternoon, but if I'm not mistaken, a majority of the teams, I'm going to say 75% of the teams that played their players in the preseason and allowed them to get some kind of cohesiveness, those are the teams that won. I think the teams that didn't win either had a lot of rookies, a lot of turnover, a lot of injuries, things you couldn't take into account. But they were also teams that didn't play starters. I think being there for training camp matters. Personally, it drives me nuts because I feel like it's just the league gets softer and softer every year, and these guys make more and more money. But, I mean, you practice like you play. That's what I teach my kids in baseball, and they're playing football also. And it's kind of like, how do you expect teams to get better and build cohesiveness if they are not playing with each other in game situations? Like, the ones have to play with the ones and the twos play with the twos. And it was a shit show. It was still football, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. But I do think that it's going to get much better. At least it'll get better over the course of the next 3 weeks. Week 2 and week 3. By week 3, I think you should have it pretty much, figured out. You'll know who's good and who's not, for the most part. What else? Justin Fields. I'm a Bears fan, in case you didn't know this. I'm a Bears fan, but I honestly am really tired of hearing Justin Fields' name already. Andy Dalton's a starter, and I'm okay with that. You're let run its course. I'm not saying Dalton's good. I'm just saying Fields is currently still not ready. He did have a very cool touchdown, but I'd rather him stand around and hold a clipboard and watch the game and get exposure to that and learn. And I'm very glad he was not in for the whole game to get destroyed by the Rams defense, which looked good yesterday. Stafford looked, I think at one point in time I just had a tweet, and the entire tweet was Matthew motherfucking Stafford. And I stand by that tweet. That was the whole tweet. End, period, send. He looked so good. I just wish that he had not thrown the ball to Van Jefferson because, I could have used some Cooper Kupp and some Robert Woods touchdowns. But it was a good game, nonetheless. Let's see. Let me try and find some dumb NFL tweets right now. This is going to make for a really bad podcasting, so I apologize. No, I will. Here is a good tweet from Mike Del DeRocco. Just a reminder for the Jaguars fans in the dumps today. 1 year ago, the Jags beat Indy, and the thought was, hey, they're better than we thought. They were actually worse. So week one isn't necessarily a good indicator of how good a season will go. Facts. Also, Sports Center tweet out, I hadn't thought about this, an interesting tweet / fact. And it was yesterday's loss was the first time that Trevor Lawrence has lost a game that includes high school and college. That is a fascinating. I've heard it said before, but that is a thoroughly fascinating fact to me. He seemed to handle it pretty good, so we'll see how it goes. I look forward to seeing. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be really, really good at football. He is really good at football. I just think it's going to be a learning process. So there's that. Let's see if I can find. All right, I'm going to share the screen on this one. This is. I'm not even sure if I can do this. We're going to go. Because this is just a hilarious tweet. Can I get the whole tweet on the screen? Yes. So once again, this is me learning how to do things. Share screen. This one right here. Can we get it? Can we get it? Oh, yes. All right. So Urban Meyer getting dog barked by the 2021 Houston Texans. Gorgeous. And it's this kid with I can watch this GIF all day. I just happened to find this tweet while I was scrolling through. But that's the ending is the best, where kid with Roman candles just out here posing and flexing. There you go, between the legs, in the air, under the arm, boom, at the cameraman. That is just glorious. Oh, that is so good. Sorry, I couldn't resist. That was just a phenomenal tweet. Let's go back. I will say this before I forget. I am also again, if you are new here, considering the fact that I'm only 4 episodes in, my name's Austin Thompson. You can find me on Twitter at Austin Wrote That, which is right here, and I am a contributor / editor of Eat Sleep Fantasy. So you can find my articles there. At some point in time, there'll be articles on the Fantasy Football Morning Show website. But most of my articles are going to be on Eat Sleep Fantasy. And later today, I will be doing a DFS write-up that I will post on Eat Sleep Fantasy, as well as Fantasy Football Up North, which is run by another good friend of mine, Clayton Cadu. Legit Canadian. I think he's from Edmonton. But I told him that I would do some DFS content for him. I do a piece called Cash Rules, which is just a single game DFS lineup strategy. It's going to break down what it is, what I think will happen in the game, and the players I think will benefit from that. And I will even give out a lineup for free. I'm not selling the lineups yet. I may never do it. I don't know. But I will post my single game lineup. We'll try and do one for Thursday and for Monday night games. I just didn't this week. My birthday was Saturday. Yeah, September 11th is my birthday. That's no fun. And then today is my daughter's birthday. So there's just a lot going on. Had my kids this weekend. So anyway, never quite got to it. But yeah, I will write an article there, and then you'll be able to post. I'll post it. You'll be able to see the results, and hopefully we can get this single game DFS thing going. We'll see how that goes. It may not go very well, and I may end up not doing it. I'm going to try and do a very good job of not doing things that suck. So we'll see how that goes also. Let's see. I don't know why Twitter's lagging. Ooh. I'm not a huge fan of Booger McFarland, although the guy is smart. I like the guy. I don't like him on TV. I don't like watching him call a game. It drives me nuts. This guy's smart as shit, though. Booger McFarland. Buffalo better find Josh Allen some help. Reminds me of the load LeBron had to carry with the Cavs the first time around. He can do it, but damn, that's a lot on one kid. Facts. So he follows it up with saying he threw it 51 times. He ran it on design runs, several more. Where is the help in the running game? That's true, because I'm pretty sure he was the leading rusher for that team last night. I have to look that up too. Either way, even if he wasn't, it still wasn't great. Something else I am going to do is, if you watched previous episode, which you did not, I mentioned in one of my other episodes that this is the first year that I have 6 kids. The oldest is 23. The youngest turns 3 today. But I have 3 kids in high school and 1 kid in middle school. We got twin boys that are 14, a daughter who's 15, and then a 13-year-old son. And this was the first year that any of them decided they wanted to get in on fantasy football. So one thing I said that I will do is I'm going to recap how that goes, which occasionally often include me being beaten by a small child, which I'm pretty sure without a Monday Night Miracle is going to happen to your boy. Let me see. Where's my league at? Fantasy football. Oh, this is an ESPN league. Sorry. This is the least amount of leagues I've ever been in, and I feel like I am the most disorganized this year that I've ever been. All right, so the league, I started with my kids. It's my kids and some of their high school friends, and the name of the league is the Fantasy Football Academy. Just sounded cute and clever, so I used it. It's probably go faster on my phone because my computer's being super slow today. All right, so I am currently, all my players are done. I have 100.82 points. I lost to Team Butler. It's one of my kids' friends. who scored 140.26 points. Just to give you a rundown of my roster. Excuse me. Aaron Rodgers got me 1.3 points. Derrick Henry got me 10. Sorry. Nick Chubb gave me 22. Mike Evans gave me 5.4. Marquez Callaway gave me 2.4. TJ Hawkinson, who I'm very, very high on, gave me 25.7. Jerry Jeudy, who got injured, gave me 13.2. The Saints defense / special teams gave me 14. And Younghoe Ho? I gotta learn how to say his name. Younghoe Koo, I think. The Atlanta kicker. He gave me 6 points. I'm gonna try to remember to cut that section out and just make it a video and put it on TikTok or somewhere, because me trying to say that was pretty funny. Let's see. So my son Blake played just DB Jeremiah, who didn't put in a quarterback, who also did not put in a kicker. It may not be playing at all. I don't know. But it was 99.92 points, 236.9 points, which is funny because Blake had Fitzpatrick, who he stole from me. He stole him from me because he knew I wanted him. Who gave him 0.72 points with a hip injury. Saquon, 3.7 points. Najee Harris, 5.9 points. Stephon Diggs, 15.9. Julio Jones, 5.9. Gronk, 29 points. Pittsburgh's defense, which gave him 13 points. And Prater, the kicker for Arizona, gave him 7 points. Let's see. One of the twins, Braden, and my daughter, Selena, they played against each other, which is awesome. But Braden still has Josh Jacobs tonight. But it is 118 to 148. Pretty sure she's got it in the bag tonight. That's getting -2 points from the Titans defense. And Braden killing it with Mahomes, 33 points. Kelsey for 25. Yeah, that's insane. But Selena had Jamar Chase, and she had Russell Wilson. So, let's see where Caden is currently losing 151.66 to 133.7. Let's see. Caden had the Browns defense, which gave him 0 points. Thielen, who gave him 30 points. That guy balled out. And Josh Allen, who gave him 17 points. And McCaffrey. He has an overall good team. It's just he ran against a buzzsaw that had Tom Brady, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, DeAndre Hopkins, Terry McLaurin, and Cooper Kupp. So, yeah. I will try on Mondays. I will do a better job of having an organized list of me winning or losing in my various leagues. I think I'm going to win in my Scott Fish Bowl. At least this week in the Scott Fish Bowl. So in Scott Fish Bowl, this is my first year in the Scott Fish Bowl, and I'm super excited and stoked about doing it. I'm in the Prince Division, and I also declared on Twitter that if I win the division, I am going to get a SFB tattoo. Because, why not? Currently, my scores there are I'm losing 109.26 to 118.66. The person that I'm playing has 0 players left to play. And I have 2 players left to play. Let's see who I have left. Who I need to bail me out tonight is Hunter Renfrow and Mark Andrews. Thank God I have Mark Andrews because I'm not trusting Hunter Renfro or the Ravens. I mean, the Raiders at all. Raiders, by the way, are my second team. Bears fan first, Raiders fan second. Born in California, so I figured I should have a team. And when I lived there, the Raiders were, and they still are, a very big deal. But I lived close to Oakland when they were there, and it was just fun to watch the Raiders and the fans, and so yeah, that's my number 2 team. And I feel like that is enough for this episode. So I'm going to try and remember my sign out. Oh yes. So I'm a huge nerd. I didn't do my intro right, but I'm wearing a Trust Me, I'm a Superhero t-shirt. And one of the movies I enjoy a lot is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So the opening with "So Long, Thanks for All the Fish" is one of my favorite things in the world. So that is what I use to sign off when I write articles. So I decided I would use it to sign off on the show also. That being said, thank you for watching again. I appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe everywhere that you can. Find me on Twitter, on social media. You could at FF Morning Show on Twitter and ask questions. I've had some start-sit questions asked there. You can also at me personally at Austin Wrote That, or Facebook, or send me an email or whatever. I'm going to try and make myself as accessible as possible on the internet, so that you can ask me. I've got a guy from New York who for 2 years has been DMing me, asking me questions during his draft and stuff like that, which is really cool. I feel it's an honor and a privilege to have somebody trust me with their lineups or their rosters, and I take it very seriously. So if you want to DM me, whatever, cool. Just don't be a dick. That's all I really care about. That being said, so long, and thanks for all the fish.